Welcome to another review at Total Toy Recon. As you can see, today we are dealing with Diamond Select's new Tron Sark action figure. Now, some of you may think, well, I already got a Sark action figure. I got him last year in March. But see, that was a Kingdom Hearts Tron action figure. So that was this action figure who came with Sora as part and in design as Sora and Sark were in the Kingdom Hearts game. So, already, if you look kind of close at these faces, and we'll do a comparison, not quite David Warner, not quite. This is more David Warner, who played Sark in the movie. So, we do have a little odd, interesting kind of take here. We also see some paint applications that are slightly different. But let's get to this figure. We'll bring Sark back in here. Now, as I said, this is the new Sark action figure from Diamond Select. And, sorry about the angle of which, we're just going to move this up here. As you can see, there are 3 new figures in this line. They come individually. They are not part of 2-packs. We have Sark, Tron, and Infiltrator Flynn. So this is actually Flynn from the beginning of the film when he is trying to infiltrate Master Control to find the code and program that says that Flynn was actually the creator of the video games and that Sark's user, please forgive me, can't remember his name, that Sark's user was actually had stolen all of that. So let's get to the figure here. Already, instantly, this is much different. We have the blister pack. We have multiple hands here. We've got memory discs, some in motion, which is very nice and very different. And what I love about these figures are they are easily found at Walgreens. Now, comic book stores will have them, but for some reason, Walgreens seems to have a lot of Tron figures. Let's open this up here. I really hope that these do show up at the Disney store, but I have a feeling that maybe they're not something that Disney store is going to carry all that often. So whenever I do a review here, especially with Diamond Select Toys, they love their security wires and doodads and everything else. So definitely it's good to have a nice set of wire cutters available to you. Not a knock against them, I understand it, but when you're trying to review something quickly and get it done, it makes it a little bit tougher. So let's get him out of the plastic coffin. Pull that out, and we'll recycle that. So we'll get the memory discs out here. This is awesome. I love that they did this. That's cool. Here's one for his back. Now, if you were a kid in the 80s, you had a Frisbee. That was your memory disc after watching Tron. Oh! Didn't even take notice of that. He comes with an action figure stand. Fantastic. And let's see if I can straighten out this wire here so we don't cut it too much or scratch the figure. Slide that out. Okay. Another memory disc, but this one's in motion. Straight. And we do have... One thing I ran into... I reviewed The Rocketeer recently. It was hard getting the... They really had these extra hands taped in. And there were 4 sets of hands, so it was tough. Oh, wow. Really rough. Really, really rough. Out and out. And now there's a little extra rubber straps here. I'll just give a quick cut to these. I bring it up every time, but we did review all of Diamond Select's Ghostbuster figures when you had to build a rooftop. And the cool part about building a rooftop is it's huge. It takes every figure. We pre-cut every figure out of its pack, and that alone I think reduced our time by like 3 hours. Just talking about the figure was enough, and then building the rooftop slowly. The figures were awesome, but man, that's a lot of wires to cut. So, ooh, all right. So, in case you hadn't noticed, look at him shake. That's kind of odd. But so he has that gray kind of pasty look. And the interesting thing about what some people don't realize, that unless you're a big fan of Tron, and I am, the whole movie was filmed in black and white, and then they colored these parts. Disney animators colored these parts into the outfit. So it's a weird mixture of live action and actually animation, in traditional style animation. So he's a little loosey-goosey right here at this part. It's not really hurting the figure, but it makes him a little wobbly, which is very odd. So we're going to put the memory disc here on his back, which will probably never come off. Let's do a pose without the stand first. And then, I'm a big David Warner fan, by the way. I wish that Diamond Select would be able to make him evil from Time Bandits. That would just be a fantastic figure. So there he is without the stand, on his own, doing good. Now, let's put him on the stand. Now, I'm having a little problems with the memory disc staying in. So I'm going to push it in there really good. All right, now that's permanent. That's not going anywhere. So this is interesting because it seems as if the memory disc is in flight, but how would you freeze that or pose that without a little stand? So it's kind of almost be like a little stand that it's flying from his hand. So if arm's a little tough to elevate with these shoulder pads, but if this was here, you think that there would be something that you could, like attach itself to, like that's makeshift. That's a makeshift attitude for it. I mean, you could do something like that. Not that Sark was a real action-based kind of character anyway, but hand came right out. That was nice. Put the new one in. Nice transfer here. So we could always do the disc. You could say that he caught the disc. So let's switch the other hand out. It's nice and easy. And bring this up here. So my instant reaction is that I really like the look of the figure. The details are amazing. The homage to the actor and the character, I think, are very much in place. I'm a little confused by these, like as into what we're supposed to do with them. Sark is more of a talking character and made other guys do his minions. So like some of the bigger guys, the warrior guys that were in the film, they would be awesome to have as, put two on either side of them here. Let's do a comparison. So did they just repurpose this figure? Clearly not, because look at the size difference here of these figures. So big difference here in these figures, as you can see. So already we have about another ½ inch. As articulation goes, the arms are very similar, except, as you can see, we'll put them side by side here. As you can see, we do have an extra point of articulation up here that's not on this one. And then as far as the legs go, you can see it here. We have these legs that they can twist. Here on the Kingdom Hearts Sark, not really. So I did love this figure. Actually, I still do. I really do like this figure. I got it from Diamond Select when they had announced these figures. And I really wanted a Sark figure. Never thought we'd have anything better than this. But then here comes this more screen accurate version with great color and a face. Now let's compare the faces here. So let me do a face comparison here. So as you can see, this one here is very much David Warner. Okay, so as you can see, the face is very much in his eyes, his nose, his face, his cheeks. This one here is probably closer to in likeness to what we see in the video game. So I'm sure that in Kingdom Hearts, they probably didn't pay the rights to have David Warner's face in there. But also, we do a back difference here. We don't have a joint here to move the chest. Here we do. Can move him. We don't even have this lower joint here on the hips. Again, here we do. This disc is attached. This disc is not. He came with no accessories, except he did come with a whole other action figure. He came with Sora in the Tron likeness. And then, so this is definitely an upgrade, except for whatever reason, mine is a little loose at the top. I'm going to put this on his stand. So as a fan of the Disney movie, I am very happy. The upgrade is much needed. As you can see, it would be one thing that they could have just repainted this one, maybe added some extra points of articulation, but the extra height, the difference is clearly there. I wish I had a black light, and the time of recording this is when we are in lockdown because of the virus, so I'm not actually able to get out. I would have loved to have shot this with a black light and then just give this a perfect kind of like glow look that would have really captured the figure and the character from the time. So thank you, Diamond, for sending this out. I really do like the figure. I just, when this gets loose, that kind of like, but I think these are fantastic. I just need them to be able to do something. Like, he's not going to throw it this way. This is already in flight. This is coming back. This one's going towards the audience, where this one is actually bouncing and then coming back. So it's cool. It's neat. It's a great design. You just repurposed this and then added this extra piece of plastic, but it needs to have a stand. It needs to look like I can throw it, or it needs to have that extension from the hand, very much as in Marvel Legends Gambit with the cards, like they were extending from his hand. So that's my only complaint. Otherwise, I think it's a great upgrade. If you had the original one that they released last year in 2019, you definitely want the 2020 version that's been hitting the stores left and right, and is available on Entertainment Earth. And go to your local Walgreens, because I'm sure he's sitting there. So this is Bob from Total Toy Recon. Thank you for tuning in. End of line.